Myself Sonia Ramakrishna. Here basically we are discussing about the Oracle architecture basically, and this is fourth part basically. In this basically we discussed about server result cache basically. This what basically it's this all are basically the memories basically, and memories basically has given the name, and that basically contains certain level of data basically. That basically given as a name as the architect basically, and lots of commands basically are there. One of the person told them what is the easiest way to learn the Oracle basically. So one of the person told that do one thing, draw this diagram basically in one of the paper or basically wherever, and according to this basically write down the all the commands basically. For example, dbwn control ckpt, that basically is a control one. Log lgwr, log writer. So log writer basically contains how many types of command basically? archn, r background process, others, SQL work area, PGA, private SQL area. This everything basically contains how many functions, how many store procedures, how many commands basically are there. So this is because this is the entire architecture basically. So entire architecture means everything basically came into this way. So this is the easiest way basically. I basically don't know Oracle DBA basically, but I just basically know a little bit about the Oracle basically. Oracle DBA basically, but I am not a Oracle DBA person basically. I worked as a Oracle developer, Oracle senior developer, Oracle performance developer for more than 10 years basically. So this was the easiest way basically. I learned this basically. So best way is write down one diagram. From that diagram basically point out the each and every commands, and this is the easiest way basically. Then basically the result pool basically are there. Need this basically contains if some group basically require some commands basically need lots of memory basically. That time basically it takes from this area basically. So this also basically contains if result pool basically data has space basically required, more memory basically, space has to increase. So what is the command? How many types of commands basically are available? So like this each and everything basically we can easily able to draw basically. Then basically the database buffer cache is there basically. This basically what it contains basically, and how basically it is executable, how basically it is used. So database buffer basically can be used in temporary performance. For performance purpose basically it is getting used. Assume that basically 100 GB is the SGA size. 40 GB basically is given to the database buffer cache. And in this basically one person told that if 40 GB basically uh, somebody basically told that the 40 GB is basically already used. That time basically what will happen? That time basically the algorithm basically LRU basically least recent used data basically least recently used means last basically the long before basically few data basically was into the memory, that data basically gets flushed basically, and the current executed statement basically comes into the picture. So database buffer cache design basically the Oracle group basically designed this, that basically contains this. So database buffer cache basically contains this. So like this many parameters basically are available like this. See basically redo log buffer changes basically in this what basically are stored basically, that basically is given. Insert, update, delete, stored, create table, recovery departments will help here changes are updated. So each and every changes basically are updated here. That also basically you can see. For example, insert statement you have given. So insert statement basically are updated here. Insert table, insert delete. Recovery department basically. For example, one database got crashed. That time basically the redo lock buffer basically redo lock buffer file basically each and every memory stuff basically are given here basically that all basically have physical file also because at last basically the memory files basically goes into the physical file. So redo block buffer also have a redo block file also basically. So like this, Oracle have basically redo block buffer. Each and every buffer basically data are stored into the redo block file. Basically. Fixed SGA basically is there. What basically is fixed SGA? That also basically we have already saw with discussed this everything. Java pool is there. Java pool basically means assume basically the JVM basically Java Virtual Machine, that is the Java user basically. He executed the Java command and that basically he used basically Oracle stuff basically. That time basically the Oracle say that basically we have created totally different Java pool only. So Java process basically comes into here basically stream pool is there. The replication which happens that time basically the stream pools basically are used. Free memories basically are there. How many memories are basically free? Input output buffer basically are there. All basically buffers basically goes into the physical file. UG basically UGC basically user global area basically that also you can say. In that basically whenever you use the order by command which that is the select star from table name and order by some field name. That time basically this area basically are used. Cursor is cursor in if you are using any cursors basically in PLSQL that time basically this data are used. This you can say as a data also basically because this is also one data na, basically. But it's a architect basically. So if it's a architect then basically you have to give the proper name only because this architect name is basically given by the Oracle group basically. UGA basically. UGA is basically one architect parameter basically name given basically. PMON is a background process basically. It's a background process that basically due to some reason basically some process basically got killed and that time basically you can restart the process basically. Example is delete is ongoing. Data basically base got crashed basically. But database basically never get crashed basically on the Oracle. But then also basically scenario basically they have taken because it's a machine basically. So it's a notepad file basically. Then basically on the person tool the S1 is there. Background process basically instance update commit and in S1 basically the process is there of the rollback forward and rollback backward basically you can do one person told that what is rollback forward means you can basically completely flush the enter the process only basically and you can basically uh, insert the entire process to the file also basically insert update basically you have done you want to you have to uncommit the data so that also basically is possible through smon and if you want to commit it basically then also basically you want to commit the data file data of the buffer of data to the files basically. So these all are basically easy way to understand the stuff basically. So it's a very easy way. So that's why basically I told that basically it's a virtual plus physical basically. So that diagram basically contains that diagram basically is the easiest way to understand the stuff basically. And in this basically REC RICO is there basically. RICO basically contains the insert data two database basically inserted into three database two database inserted one database data basically was not inserted so two data basically got removed basically insert data there is one process basically ongoing in that basically some database basically was getting inserted in three database but two database got inserted one basically not got inserted so that you can basically recover it or basically you can remove it. So in next video basically we are going to see.